Hello, Bucks who play normally are Sir Aspera, but her scheduling changed around her work, so she cannot join us anymore. So for now, I'm going to NPC her, and then we're gonna see what happens, and eventually we are going to get somebody else to join us. But until then, we're gonna have a merry time nonetheless. So, what happened last time, gang?
Well, merry isn't the first word I used to describe this campaign, but nevertheless. Last time, after trudging beyond the bridge and after a little fight with the undead, where Lady Lyra. Wait, I need it. Please remind me, is it Lyria or Lyra? Because I always. Lyria. Oh! Okay, Lyria.
There's no I, there's no ye sound.
No I, okay.
Illyria.
Illyria tonight. Anyway. So, Lyra got possessed by what seemed to be a malicious spirit of some sort, and she kind of almost killed herself. Well, I mean, the spirit almost killed her while possessing Lyra. It's complicated. And we took control over Lyra, and she got unpossessed, which was great. And then she had a little heart-to-heart with
Casimir?
Casimir, yeah, I wanted to call him Depression McGee, but
okay. You wouldn't be wrong, I think.
Depressed elf boy.
Depressed elf boy, yeah. And anyway, after that, we went into this ruined mansion thing, where this undead cloaked guy who looks very grim was waiting in the entrance and be like, congratulations on almost killing our troops, but they can't die because they're undead. And as for the doesn't really have time for his shit, so she basically asked him to speak with either Master Wirim or Horngard, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Gwillem.
Okay, cool. And Horngard, despite his name, does not guard horns, which is disappointing. But then, two other undead show up at the entrance, and are they friendly, are they not friendly? We don't know. And he's like, okay, I'll hold them back. Why does he need to hold them back? We don't know. We go in. And once we go in, we reach this foyer, the start of the mansion, and we see a lot of symbology correlating with that of Asphoda's order, which the name actually slipped my mind again, because Jesus, we need to play more. Argent
Purifiers.
Purifiers, yeah.
You almost got it.
And basically, once we head in, we actually saw a name which I forgot. Okay, I'm not going to try to pronounce that shit. Arginvorstholt.
Yeah, Arginvorstholt.
Fuck these Swedish names, okay.
It's not. What?
It's Norwegian.
It's Norwegian. Okay. Scandinavian name. Fine. And once we go in, Asphoda uses her primeval awareness to sense any undead, and she senses a bit of undead, not too many, quite a lot actually, a lot, like 17 if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
17 undead. Anyway, we start looking for shit in the mansion. At first, our plan was to just go and see Horngard wherever he may be and search for where he is. And we were like, okay, where would the Grand Master be? And then Nyx was like, hey, we have time. Let's search the mansion a little bit. Let's stick our noses places they're not ought to be, and maybe we'll find something interesting. So we did that.
I mean, it was a little more than just like sticking our noses places. We were like trying to find some evidence, like we know what these undead's MO is.
Yeah, right. And then we started scavenging a bit, and we found the room full of free corpses and webs everywhere.
Spooders!
We didn't know there were spooders until Nyx lit the web on fire and pissed them off.
We
started.
No, Illyria lit it on
wait,
fire.
Illyria did that? Okay.
Yeah.
Illyria did that?
But Nick suggested it, so.
Yeah.
It's been 3 weeks, guys.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
So we started fighting off the spider, and they're like, "Ooh, we're spiders, we hate you." And we're like, "Yeah, well, we hate you more," and we killed them. And so the party asks the DM, "Can we drink the souls tonight?" And the DM said yes, so we drank the soul. each of us in a more disturbing way than the last. And
Surprisingly, Hamartia in the least disturbing way.
yeah, what the fuck,
Yeah,
guys?
yeah, that's very true. And I remember very distinctly, I just want to point in here that Nick suggests some necrophilia, but he says it in a way that is totally innocent in his mind. But everyone else in the whole call hears something else.
I don't remember
Guys
that.
are so cursed.
Okay. Anyway, we started looking more, and we found a nice little room with a fireplace in it and some vintage wine, which Nix was very surprised about because apparently it wasn't produced. Production of it was ceased after Stradwentor's books book on Borovia, if I remember correctly.
It's been very uncommon and since then has dried up. It's
Yeah.
just very hard to grow.
And then we, both Hamartia and Asoda, saw something crawl out from the fireplace. Some coal trying to reach to more coal, like it's this blob thing, and we're both like, fuck you. And we blasted it with wind blasts and spear blasts, I guess. And we found a little baby dragon there, or dragon-like thing. And Asoda picked it up and were like, okay, it's cute, what should we do with it? And some of us were like, fucking kill it. And they were like, no, it's innocent. And then it huffed a little bit of cold air on Asoda, which apparently led to a Vietnam flashback, which then Asoda promptly squished it because she ain't having none of that, and that's where we left off.
I also want to point out that last episode, Aeronox as well as Aphida had an epiphany that the Tsarevich Empire that attacked Shay was Strahd, and oh boy.
Well, thank you for coming from my TED talk. That was me.
Yeah. Which I think everybody knew except Asphodel.
Yeah, exactly. But then she rolled like a critical one on her history check, so it all checked out. It all checked out.
The dice gods give.
Yeah.
The dice got taken away.
Yeah.
Just like, why do you think Illyria was so shocked when she learned it was Strahd?
Duh.
Oh boy, that's why I do not summarize things.
Oh, thank you very much. Very kind.
The pleasure was mine.
It was great.
Yeah, it was great.
10 out of 10.
It was
I'm blushing right now.
Oh! Oh, that's so cute. Alright, let's go back here. With our spooky music. You look about the cobwebbed field, thrashed about in the decrepit room around you. That would have been without any doubt an embellished parlor or den once upon a time, situated within these stark walls of this forlorn and despondent fortress that would have been an impressive seat of power once upon a time. You remind yourself why you are here. Your lives are now threatened by these strange undead creatures with no souls to capture. That if you were to continue on your current path, they will hunt you down and destroy you. It's all very bewildering. They seem familiar to the Argent Purifiers, yet they seem to be on Strahd's side, which is the very antithesis of what the Order is built upon. This room will not grant you any more answers, not even further questions. Especially so after whatever that lizard of coal was that Asphodel so prudently squished in her hand, creating a small explosion of smoke around her fist and the tiniest of squawks. Now, how will you react to this bizarre event, and where will you go next? Back to the main hall behind, or through the wooden door in front of you?
Do you make it a habit to kill small creatures as well?
Better safe than sorry. It gave me a strange vision again. Might have something to do with my bat that you point out. I don't like it.
Oh, well, if there is some sort of trauma going on with you, then of course, kill all things that would give you any traumatic event. But just checking that you're not just eager to kill everything whilst we're here. We are, after all, looking for some sort of evidence of where these undead came from.
Yes.
And why they're so hell-bent on serving that of Strahd.
But until then, we should definitely defend ourselves.
Even from the smallest of creatures.
You never know. Seem to be wanting fuel or something, like the fire. What? Who knows what would have happened?
Well, what's done is done. Are you okay?
I think so. But as we said earlier, Nix, I will let you know when I have my visions, and you will let me know how it is for you, right?
Right. But, do you want to tell me this vision now? Was it something significant, or is it more like a minor thing? Did you see everyone dead? Was I alive?
Of course, that's the important part.
Of course it is.
As much as I would love for all of you to have your heart-to-heart right now, I would remind you that we are in hostile territory, and caution, silence are both things which are most appreciated right now.
Your caution is noted, Hamatia, but we have had experiences where even a vision can maybe foretell.
Oh, so you hallucinate a lot.
Let's call them premonitions rather than hallucinations.
Sure.
It's certainly been a theme since we've been here. Illyria, Nyx, now me. I hope that I would go without them.
Well, welcome to the club.
Feels nice to be included. Now it was like before at the crossroads. I was in a blizzard, something I'm quite familiar with. But then this loud sound of wings approaching from behind. But before I turn around to face whatever it is, my vision returns to normal.
Wings? Like, could you tell the scale of these wings? Was it like a little tiny wings, like maybe like a bat, or is it more like, bigger?
Just like soul hair, it's very hard to hear those wings. These wings were gigantic to be able to make that whooshing sound.
Interesting. And your strange marking in your soul mark, that didn't feel any different when you came back?
Now when you say it, no, I didn't feel any tingling like when I picked up this arm and she pulls out of her backpack. The arm of Isaac.
At some point.
Wait, what?
Yeah, out of her backpack she pulls out a severed, demonic looking arm. It's like this, it's a red tiefling arm, but it's been, there's like dragon scales or something, like some lizard scales that's going up at it, and several protruding horns that is going up around it, and a big long claws over the fingers. The whole hand has become bigger and more elongated. It smells, and she waves it around like it was like a rag doll in front of your face.
I mean, you don't have to bring it out.
Amate looks completely perplexed by what she is saying right now.
What is an important piece of evidence?
I get that. It's just you don't have to whip it out whenever it's mentioned.
Has your evidence started to read yet?
Well, according to the smell, yes, but it has been holding on pretty well. Strange.
Maybe you should embalm it.
Do you know how to?
No, I
Yeah.
didn't do embalming. That's my sister.
Well, until then, I would just keep it in there, and she stuffs it back in again.
Wait. Your rations are in the cart, right?
No, they're in there too.
Alright.
to give a nice edgy flavor, I guess.
I know how
Can
to
I
store food. Yes?
Did she drop the creature that she crushed, or is it still in her hand?
It kind of exploded from being this smooth coal thing that she had in her hands. It kind of like exploded into dust. So it went from one weird state to another weird state, and on Asphoda's hands is just some black coal markings. That's the only thing that is left of it.
Okay. Next, we'll take a quick look at the fire to make sure there's not other exploding lizard babies in there.
Oh my god!
That's a sentence I never thought I would hear. But yes, you poke around in the cold fireplace, and there's nothing that crawls about.
Okay. Well, I think you got it, Asphoda. Just let me know if you feel any different, and I'll try and have a think about what this means to have wings wave near you.
Well, I don't like it. It's a bat on my neck, and I hear something bewinged approach me from behind. I have a bad feeling.
Noted. But we are surrounded by bad feelings, as Samati has very eagerly reminded us of, and there doesn't seem to be anything in this room that points to any sort of evidence of where these Argent purifiers have come from. So, shall we proceed?
Yes. Where should we go?
I believe you wanted to keep on venturing further west.
Yes, they were less undead, I felt, in this direction. Only 3 sources further to
Right.
the north.
Well, since you are technically their guest, after you. And Nyx touches her on the shoulder, tap tap, you've got this, and to cast guidance.
Do not worry. If you feel scared, I will go in front of you, Nyx.
It's less about being scared, it's more about, the gentlemanly thing.
And maybe some reconnaissance is in order.
Thing to let the...
Yes, the big, lady covered in armor scales. Yes, it's the gentlemanly thing to do.
Well, it's the tactical
You
thing
seem
to do.
to have a
Alright.
very different etiquette here.
Well, we're all learning things today.
Delira just chuckles a little.
Okay. You carry on through the west, the northern door. Its hinges squeal. They haven't been oiled for a very long time, and that's when it looks a little bit disappointed at them. Of they feel so rickety that if she just applies too much strength, they might just fall apart. So she opens it very carefully, puts out her dragon head into whatever room is out there. You can see it looking around, and then turns to you. An empty corridor, it seems like.
What does gentlemanly mean?
It means get into the corridor.
Thank you for your input.
Nyx kind of gives a quick reaction to such a question before self-contemplating, and obviously this is the wrong answer, but he seems convinced that it's the right answer. Anyway.
What? Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm right behind you.
Okay, so all of you just step into a short corridor that is between 2 wooden doors leading into the 2 towers. When you saw the structure from the side when it was broken, and from the front in the courtyard, there seems to be some kind of central square-like structure in the middle, and then you got 4 towers in each corner. and this hallway seems to connect two rooms situated inside of the towers here at the north end. And in the middle of this hallway, there's a few stone steps, dirty with use and weathered, dirt and leaves. They're rather moist, leading down to an area that has this iron fence leading out to the northern parts of this promontory, this hill, and you can see the mist and the nature through this fence. It seems to be closed for now. I want everybody to make me a perception intelligence as you look around.
Okay. Perception. What is Frostmark? How do you play?
What?
Give me a moment.
Oh shit. Activate
What?
Phew, 14.
Okay, we must
13, my apologies, I have a -1.
Not very perceptive. Or not very intelligent.
Yeah.
I still have
Oh wait, I
disadvantage.
take a look. See? Oh no.
You can change your drop down at the bottom there.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes. You're still
Wait,
very much hurt, Hilaria. You got like
Yeah, yeah.
you got a blood
Illyria's
pressure
not doing
problem.
too hot.
Okay, let's see. Oh my god, how did I roll with Asphodel? Jesus Christ. Alright, so Nyx and Asphodel see that through... They're actually the first one in there, so it kind of makes sense. That far in the hazy mists to the north, at the edge of the crest, and then where it drops down into basically the forest floor below, is 3 knightly figures locked in active combat.
3. Are they all fighting each other, or are there's like 2-on-1?
With your crit, Adrian, you can clearly see that your friend, your friend in quotation marks, the undead that you've seen twice now.
Discount start? Is that one?
Yes, Discount Strahd is fighting the 2 that you were fighting yesterday.
Okay, does it look like Discount Strahd is like panicked? I mean, as far as undead goes, or does it look more like a duel that was agreed upon? Like, you know, there's a difference between like someone who's actively trying to defend his life versus actively participating.
There seems to be definitely a aura of respect in between them, because whenever your Discount Strahd falls down, they kind of wait for him to regenerate and get up again.
I see.
Wait to see if he will stand up and fight against them again. They don't move past him unless he continues the duel. They're just waiting for him to mentally give up. And he seemed rather frustrated about it, because, you know, all of them just continues healing all the time. It's the battle wills.
I see. Well, I guess there is some sort of honorable side to this order. Why exactly they're fighting, I can't tell, but given the fact that we're here and they're down there as for that, well, maybe the right of combat is still possible. Maybe they understand what it means to have an honorable duel. Maybe keep this in mind.
It's good to remember. Also, I remember when we were out by the dragon statue that this undead that I have this necklace of that I still haven't given back said that he would escort us to this, what was it? Something Horn
Horngard?
Horngard, I think.
Horngard. And this other person I've completely forgotten their name of. But then when those two showed up, he said he had something to take care of, and now they're here fighting.
Det minar någonting rätt.
Perhaps there is a bit of infighting within this offset of the Argent Purifiers. Maybe there is a conflict of will. Maybe it's a conflict of interest.
Dissident amongst the ranks, but this is also interesting to discover.
After 1,000 years of stagnation, I wouldn't blame them.
Maybe there is some sort of challenge for leadership. But all of this is much more useful than just walking into the unknown.
Once we get some leverage, we might be able to find it easier to manipulate the forces at work.
Maybe we don't have as much time as you thought, Nix. I would not want to fight those again, especially not in here.
No, that's true, but I'm not expecting to stay weeks in here. Just merely take a little bit of time to understand before heading on straight into the clutches of the leader of the damned, I guess they are.
Okay.
Anyway, shall we continue as quickly as possible?
Alright, left or right?
Oh, I haven't. Maybe might I send Saw for a little look-see?
There's two closed doors. He might be able to squeeze underneath the hinges. But Soul is a bigger moth. Like, you know, there's some moths that are like...
You could bet him a little bit. So yeah.
It's like the size of a hand.
Yeah, he's a cute moth. He's a cute big moth.
Yes. And these doors are what once upon a time, like proper doors. So, no, I would actually argue that Soul cannot pass through these doors.
Damn it, Soul, you've been eating too much.
Fat shaming him.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. Hey, it's fine. Hey, we'll just find something more healthy than worms, I guess.
Why do I care about this moth that wants to kill us all so much?
How are you asking?
It's the voice.
It's the voice.
Yeah, if he was like, I want to kill them all.
So wait, so should I change the voice of Strahd?
I'll kill you. Oh my god! If you make Strahd, you're done.
Okay.
How about no?
Okay. Anyway, left or right?
Well, we've been going under the assumption of Asphida's primeval awareness.
Yes, and she has described that there were two undead sources to the east, and then a lot of sources above you all, and then there were these to the north. But now you see those three sources and know where they are, and they are outside of the
Oh, I see.
fortress.
Well, I don't think it makes any difference. Your pick. Maybe I take a listen to see if there's any noises on the one side. Or Lyria do the other one.
I'm not sure that's the best idea, but I can try.
Just see if you can hear anything. Like the last thing we want is more chittering sounds.
Okay. So Nyx to the left, Lyra to the right. Make me a perception intelligence, please. Oh god. No, it seems quite as grave on both sides of these doors for you.
No.
I can't hear anything. Make a choice. It makes no difference. I don't think.
We're closer to the left one anyway, and Asphyda opens up the left door. No, wait, you're closer to yeah, the left. What I might doubt in myself when I'm looking at the map. She opens up the door wide and steps in because there's little worry right now because she cannot sense any undead and cannot hear anything. So she steps in, and you see these tattered velvet drapes cover the tall, slender windows that encircle what seems to have been once upon a time a fancy parlor. The furnishings are all covered with dust and cobwebs and lie in disarray. A damaged brass chandelier hangs from the ceiling, which is covered with a faded mural that depicts metallic dragons and colorful birds flying beneath white clouds. A few of the sconces in the chandelier above your head still have candles that are burning in different states of how much they have left, and on top of the largest candle is a little coal lizard very quietly squeaking to itself.
Death to lizards, I guess. I mean, there seems to be another one where this place is infested with them.
Oh, not another one. What is this?
I don't know. You killed the last one before any sort of assessment could be made. Who can say? Are you concerned about more visions if you get near it?
Well, I can't talk to it, which means it's not something animal-like. Let me smell if it's an undead. If it has that rancid dirt smell, I would know.
Sniff away.
Aspida snips a little bit in the corner for a minute.
I mean, if anything, my guess would be on something elemental. Coal lizard and all.
I have no idea. This is all weird for me.
Nix, do you still have your
You can't be told that-
turquoise ghost torch going?
I suppose I didn't specify I turned it off. I was
No.
having fun with it, right? So I guess
Yeah.
if I didn't specify, I guess it's still going.
Alright. The little eyeless head and toothless maw move towards your torch and do a squeak towards you.
It's looking to attack! Is it, that's what we're going to do?
Can Illyria just go ahead and light a candle?
Candle or a torch? I mean,
Or
you have
torch,
no
something like that.
candles. The only candles that are lit that are left are still in the chandelier that is a little bit swinging in the
That's
the
fair.
air.
And she's gonna turn on a torch.
Okay.
Like she's gonna light a torch.
What are you doing, Illyria? It notices light.
It squeaks now towards Illyria, turns his head between the two sources. Asvara, after a minute of concentration, says, that's strange. It's so tiny I couldn't sense it at first. But it's very vague. It feels like it has it's a very, very slight undead aura, but it's doesn't feel complete. It's very hazy to my sight, or to my smell.
It doesn't smell complete, like it's not all the way dead.
Yes! I never experienced such a thing. Do you know what it means?
An undead undead?
Very witty. Ilya, are you sure you know what you're doing? I can squeeze it once again. This could be dangerous.
Maybe
Well,
it's sentient. in some manner. Maybe we can speak to it.
It might help us figure out what's going on here, and
This just might be another one. Maybe this place is crawling with them.
Maybe it's a nest.
Maybe there's a mother.
Right. Illyria, we should squish it.
sure.
Truly.
Maybe wait. Are we
But
sure?
Illyria is gonna like sort of like kneel down and like hold the like torch towards it and see what happens.
Oh, you have to wing it up way above your head because it's kind of hanging on the chandelier that is like half askewed above your head.
It's still on the chandelier.
Yes.
Okay.
It's kind of like balancing on top of this candle, looking down at you and squeaking.
Can I use a wind blast to knock it off the chandelier?
Yeah, sure. It's a bit of a crash as the chandelier kind of swings.
I would tell people to clear first.
Swings on itself. These different copper parts smashing against each other, and it's like, as it falls down and tumbles to the ground, and then it scurries into a corner, looking very scared of all of you, but still like interested in the torch flames.
Okay, it's done now. I think we should experiment with it a little bit, but if you just want to squish it away.
What about me picking it up and holding it again, and then squeezing it if something bad happens?
Maybe.
Are you sure it's something bad?
Or just let me try this, and if anything goes horribly wrong, it's my fault.
Okay.
If something happens to you, Illyria, it will have consequences on us all.
Sorry, what did you say?
If something happens to you, Illyria, it will have consequences upon us all.
What harm can a little lizard do to Illyria, though? She's brave and strong.
Right.
Hey, Kira.
What I'm curious, I mean, I fully endorse the idea of squish if dangerous, but what I'm curious about is if it is considered a youngling, or if it is fully grown. If there's anything that can determine this, if it looks like it is growing teeth, for example, or, I don't know how lizards work. Do they have baby scales?
I think you might need an actual researcher for that and not some weird conjuncture.
I don't know. Maybe there's something. I don't know how it works, really. I mean, I just assume that maybe it's something you can pick up on.
I highly doubt it, but we'll see.
Okay. I will grab for it again, and I will try to do experiments, and I will be prepared to squeeze it if something bad happens. Alright?
That's fair.
Okay, once again, Asphodel launches at this little lizard who tries to run in different corners, and there's like a little bit of a war of like, shit, no, come back here! And the little coal lizard going, and eventually Asphodel captures it in her hand again, once again the same way. And then holds it up to Illyria.
Let's see what actually happens if it gets... I don't know what it wants from the flame.
Do we have to squish it?
We'll see.
Okay.
She just kind of like holds the torch in front of it.
All I know, Hamartia, is that we have faced undead knights and spiders here. Who knows what else dangerous is lurking within these steps?
Yeah, I understand your reasoning. It's weird to play judge.
We have to make a decision because we don't have much time based on that duel. So do or do not. Squish or squish not.
Illyria just holds like the torch like in front of it and sees what happens.
To squish or not to squish? That is the question.
The little lizard is kind of fighting in Asphod's grip. His head is like moving towards the flame and is like tugging on Asphoda to like let it go towards the flame.
So do we think if it touches the flame it's going to turn into a terrifying fiery monstrosity?
It could.
Well, it seemed attracted to this one too, but we know that this flame doesn't do any damage either. So we try with this one first.
Sure.
Okay, I waft the torch closer with a trembling arm.
It reaches for it again, but Aspera needs to let go of the lizard so we can jump up on the torch. It seems like it needs to, like it wants to touch it.
He needs to be the torch.
Okay. That's what maybe just give it a little bit of extra room. Maybe it wants something from this torch.
Nice.
Well, since this one is not hurting, I guess I can put my hand inside of the flame and prepare to squish it once my hands are in the flame.
Oh my god.
True. You're so brave.
Someone has to be, and she gives you a wink. Alright. Aspera moves her 2 gigantic silver dragonborn hands into the turquoise fire that it just moves through her hands like an illusion and slicks around it a little bit. The little dragon coal lizard thing gives out first squeaks of worry and panic, and then more sounds of satisfaction. Like a little cozy purr comes out of it.
I mean, seems happy.
Then the runes, the Coptic runes that is around the top of the torch in a circle, they start to blink very violently. Nyx.
Hmm?
Should I squish it?
I mean, it's getting a little bit freaky, but I mean, you're the one holding the thing.
I can still squish it if I need to. They blink faster and faster until it's a continuous shine. Instead of the turquoise light at the top is coming from the runes now as well, until suddenly they give out. And the torch itself, the fire immediately is extinguished. And it gets way darker and gloomier in the room right now. And Aspera stumbles away from the torch because through her hands, in a blue, brilliant shade of fire, is a dog-sized dragon form made out of pure flame that she can no longer touch or get any kind of grip on.
Illyria has a hand on her rapier.
I already prepared Windblast.
Ska du dit in?
I gasp.
Huh?
Det är bara...
Aspera immediately brings out her halberd, and you all look on the floor in between all of you. This kind of golden retriever-sized dragon with small wings, just this blue light that is coming from it. But it's not warm in here. Instead, it grows colder. And it's lighting up the whole room in this blue color. And it doesn't immediately jump at you. No. It huffs. Then lowers his head in greeting to all of you in turn.
Nice puppy.
Oh, hello.
Nice. Pleasure to meet you.
Nyx kind of bows in fearful respect. What is it?
It turns his head towards Aspera, tips his head to the sides, opens up his mouth, and gives out a roar The sound, the same kind of volume that a dog can produce. Another huff, and then it kind of lowers itself to the ground, flexing muscles that are made out of fire, takes through the air, and disappears through the stone above your heads.
What in the actual nine hells?
That was a dog-sized dragon made of fire.
Of cold fire.
This is why we squish things, Samardia.
Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe he'll be our companion later. You can never know with these sorts of creatures. I mean,
Either way, we should probably get going.
yeah.
I agree. There could be some investigations on that noise, so maybe proceed as intended, but quicker.
I just want to say that when I first summoned Saul, he actually wanted to kill me, but then we got along just fine a few weeks later.
So what do you say? Like
want to kill
this one
everybody.
didn't want to kill us now, but wants to kill us later?
No, I'm saying that trust is something that takes time to build with these sorts of creatures.
The purple
Maybe.
one is very smart.
Why did Saul want to kill you?
Oh, he has a knack for bloodshed, but he can't really seem to find his purchase on actually committing it. It is great
The
because
true pleasure of life.
I don't really enforce my will upon him like other casters do with their familiars.
Okay. Alira makes a mental note never to give this moth a knife.
He's very friendly once he goes over the want to kill you phase, I assure you.
I'm friendly until you let your guard down.
Like them four.
Don't tell them.
Or,
Okay.
you know,
Nix is already kind of opening the doors, like, hey, this is
my
not
character
time.
works in a whole other light now. Thanks.
Is given time, he might actually be an ally. It might actually be an ally.
Så bygga den.
We can't know that for sure. I've never seen something eat some flame and turn into something that size before, nor do I really want to.
We can worry about the consequences of our actions later. We should move on.
Ah, yes.
We shall see. Let's move on. And indeed, Nix, the torch is not working anymore.
Shake it like it's a broken actual flashlight.
Broke our magic torch.
Why aren't you working?
I'll still hold on to it, you know.
Okay,
just
okay,
like
okay.
it can be used as like a club, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, true. True.
Or some sort of tool. I don't know.
Maybe.
Mini Molly.
Let's see.
So,
Alright.
yeah, continue down the. We're in a corridor.
Yes.
Right?
You go out again to the corridor, those steps going down into the dirt, and that iron fence that you can see through out to the northern parts of the hill, and then past that up again, and then a short corridor that leads to that other tower.
And we haven't been in this one yet.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Well, we're moving that way, so I guess we just
Yes.
open the door. Or
Yeah, Asphoda pushes past you and says to you, we wouldn't want anybody not to be gentlemanly now, would we?
No, of course. You know, I wouldn't want to, contradict my original statement after you.
Alright, and Asphoda pushes up the door, and you can see inside here in this round circular room, tattered brown drapes cover the windows, and a heavy curtain hangs across an archway to the south. Strewn about the floor is the wreckage of perhaps a half of a dozen of beds and other pieces of furniture.
måste ta alla benen dit. Bygga.
It's very dark in here and moldy. No light.
Beds and such.
Yes, a dozen or so bed frames and what seems to be, there's a few feathers that have molded on the ground. This seems to be in quite a dormitory back in the day.
Just a quick glance around here. Is it like all moldy sheets and like decomposing pillows here, or does it look like it's been maintained?
No, there is nobody here who, undead or not, who would actually be able to sleep here, despite it being moldy and things are broken down. It's quite obvious of how the bed frames are situated in the room that they have been thrashed about.
Anything you feel like? I mean, it's a dormitory here. Do we want to take a quick check around, see if there's anything left behind? I mean, we found that necklace underneath that statue. I mean, wouldn't hurt. Just a quick if we all chip in.
Sure.
We do a quick.
All right, do a quick. All right, everybody who searches, make me an investigation with cunning, please.
Check the moldy pillows.
Yay! You better sanitize your hands after this. What's with you guys' rolls?
What?
The
Du
fuck?
kan bara deposita direkt här i.
What do you want? It's a D20. What do you want?
Yeah.
Just
Blame
the
the gods.
chances.
We're doing the quick.
The quick.
Investigation!
It all seems rather sad and looted until you come to the remains. Okay, Illyria, you start and then you give up.
These pillows are way too moldy for you.
Well, you start and then you lean
No,
over
I
in
think-
such a way that like blood rushes immediately to your head, and then you get lightheaded and dizzy. You have to stop.
Yeah.
Still, Ambardi and Nyx, it's just very much sad. It's been looted, everything, until you come to a specific broken remains of what seems to be in a chest where you find some sewing equipment.
And what?
Sewing. A
Ooh, I take
thimble,
it.
a needle, that kind of
I
stuff.
take it passionately.
Alright. It's not really complete to be a complete, like, sewing kit, but it's a start of a sewing kit.
Yeah, I don't grab shit. It's more things that I need.
Yeah?
What a find.
Well, I feel slightly more dirty now thanks to rifling through these sheets. Last time we did such a rifling, it was actually at your mother's house, Amatia. So I am ready to move on after this desecration of...
Don't worry, I can use these to actually make you new clothes if you feel a bit more too dirty.
And no, it's mostly my hands. And he kind of like rubs his hands on his coat.
Wait, did you just insult my cleaning?
It's not the time here, Amatia.
Yes, I'm apologize.
Let's as of that. I don't know exactly how much time, so nothing here.
Let's move.
There's no evidence of how they sleep or if someone holds on to some sort of prayer book or something like that. So
Asvada moves up towards that sudden piece of cloth that was covering a part of the wall, which reveals just an archway going into a kitchen kind of room. And she arcs an eyebrow at you all.
she has no eyebrows.
Oh,
Yeah. Dragon blow, cascade blow.
her facial muscles just moves a part of her forehead up.
Nice save.
Thank you.
She wiggles the scale.
Yes.
Wiggle.
Nyx kind of like uses the torch to gesture, after you.
Alright. She walks on in, kind of moving the cloth aside, kind of gives off like a cloud of dust, and kind of sneezes a little bit. and you go into the kitchen that's been rather plundered. The tables in here are all overturned. The floor is littered with rusted utensils and smashed cookery items. And then you have a hearth at the eastern wall that is flanked by 2 windows. They are quite dirty. There are a few panes in this leaded window that has been smashed. But through it you can see thick mists and a cemetery on the eastern side of the building. And an open iron pot hangs from a hook inside the blackened fireplace. It rattles on its hooks and bobs up and down as though something is inside of it.
It's moving.
Indeed it is. Violently so, giving off like little impact noises constantly.
Do you think there is another lizard in there?
There might be.
I don't know where I sit with the whole dog-sized lizard on fire and is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? I mean, do we squish?
I don't know, but I will find out. And Asphodel, with her halberd once again drawn, moves forward. Reaches out a slow hand into the hearth towards that rattling iron pot there on the hook. Rests her hand on the lid, pulls it open, gasps and stumbles back as a bat is released.
Like club or like the animal?
Like the animal.
Oh.
Who shrieks and immediately goes to the ceiling and bumps into a few walls into the ceiling. It seems really distorted.
I will, in a reaction of like the last time we saw a bat, cast Sacred Flame on it. Like, it's a spy.
There's a ray of like golden light inside of the room, and a bat that squeezes. A bubble starts to appear on his exposed flesh, and he just falls down on the ground. Half of his wings are just full of tumors. It tries to fly again, and then just dies on the floor.
And so the brave Sir Nyx destroyed the bat of all darkness and evil.
You don't know what we've been through, okay, Hamatia?
So,
we lost a good friend. His name was Dave, okay? And we didn't react fast enough. Dave would still be with us, okay? I still have his belongings in my bag. Look, and he like takes out Dave's bridle. Look what we've been through.
what the fuck is Dave?
I also have Dave's belongings with me close by, and Asphodel brings up a sausage.
Yes, you turned Dave into sausage.
What? Did you turn your friend into sausage? What?
Seemed appropriate.
Our friend was a horse.
Okay.
Marc, you look so perplexed, so confused.
So apparently a bat killed a horse and you've made sausage out of dead horse?
And the bat.
And bats.
What?
Hey,
That was Kelvin and Asphodel.
as Calvin said, you know, Boreas rests his soul, that one shouldn't leave such free meat just to rot away.
I think I am having my first ever culture shock.
Amartya, that is not normal.
It's
It's a
normal
weird
when you're
display of
desperate, Francis.
affection.
Listen, Hamatir, we have been through some shit before you decided on killing my friend, okay? So
I
it's
did
not...
decide to kill your friend.
Let's just say that we have reasons for doing this. We're not just blindly wandering through this crazy castle in the middle of nowhere. We are here for Asphodel, and we have experiences that we need to follow through on. This bat could have been an informant, since the last bats that ended our dear friend Dave were in the shape of Strahd's face. And the last thing we want to do is make sure that this bat can get back to it.
Actually, we witnessed bats in the shape of Strahd's face 2 times by now.
Right. So, no exceptions. All the bats will become sausage.
Okay, all the bats become sausage. That seems like a valid argument for genocide, but
Sounds natural to me.
as you once said, right now, even, I have not been for what you've been, and if there is relevant information, which is relevant for me too, and for the success of this mission, I should be informed so. So I would not be surprised when you start exterminating every bat in your eyesight.
I would have a think on this because I really couldn't say off the top of my head what is useful for you and what is not. We have gone through so much.
Okay,
So
just ask yourself this question. If Hamartian knows this, will it let my chances of survival go up? If the answer is yes, share it away, and if the answer is no, do not share it.
okay. Then listen to these very important words. If Asphodel offers you sausage, say no.
You see her like grab a notebook out of one of her pockets and
No.
and she writes.
No, wait, Amardia. And as well as head swivels around towards Snakes. I found that completely unfair. My sausage is very nutritious, I will have you know, and packed full of flavor. If you got a sensitive stomach, such as Snake's, then you shouldn't have my sausage.
No, I
But
am
if
totally
you
fine
have a
with it.
completely normal sausage, then my sausage is excellent and a very good meal. Do you want to have some bad sausage, Amardia?
Maybe after we are done here, but yes, thank you.
Shouldn't we look for Hornguard?
Right.
Now I know killing every bat. What the fuck?
Nix will go over to see the. Why did you describe it? The cancerous bat corpse.
Jesus.
Assuming radiant damage critical.
Yeah.
And like see if there's any markings on it or if there's any sort of similarities. Like he's looking to see if like it's just a regular bat or if it's some,
Well, there's several abrasions
Undead
on
bat.
it, like points where it's bleeding. It's been probably fighting against this lid for quite some time and has hurt itself in the process. But beyond that, it's the size and look of a normal little bat. A little flappy flat mouse.
You can, name it as cutely as you want. They're still gonna die.
Obviously so.
Jesus.
Well, you're Nix. That genocide it is.
Yes. Well, I really cannot say if this is a proportionate reaction or no. No.
Illyria's gonna whisper towards Hamartia and it's like, I've been through the same shit and even I don't know if this is appropriate.
I believe I'll just, as the commoners in Wallaki say, go with the flow.
Resupplies.
You know, Hamardia, from my time with being with the Valachians, that doesn't sound in any way correct.
It's not.
So I can't recall them saying anything of that nature. So
I read it in a book once.
Yes.
What is this flow you speak about?
Oh, it is
a simile, I believe is what you call it in the book. It's out of context. Never. We have something we need to do, and we are
Yes.
kind of wasting our time right now.
There's a door right in front of us. Let's go through it and see what we find.
Just as a passing through the kitchen, is
Mhm.
there like cleavers or knives in here? Utensils? Are there ladles?
There are 2 knives on the floor. One is like rusted beyond belief. The other one is broken.
Okay. It's like it's like complete wear and tear. Okay.
Yeah. Did I give it or taketh?
No ladles, Sag.
No, there's one that was just made out of wood that is just in 2 pieces.
I look at it with a momentary pause before moving along with the party.
You crunch through the kitchen, stepping on all of this broken dishware and cookery. Asvara opens up in her gentlemanly manner another door. Let's go back to the scenery here.
Well, you haven't moved us, by the way. Oh, this one. No, this one. The
Yeah,
this
you
is
were
the
at the
foyer.
parlor the whole time.
yeah, we were.
Yeah,
It was a wonderful fireplace, but still.
Okay.
Are we in the foyer now?
Yes. No. There's not special sceneries for all the rooms in this place. So we have to use imaginations for certain rooms.
What?
But anyway, you step into a room with a 6-meter long table with sculpted dragons for legs that stands in the center of this room. The chairs that surround the table have backs carved to resemble folded dragon wings, and several of the chairs have been overturned, or indeed, some of them have been smashed to pieces. Suspended above the table is a crystal chandelier that glows with a soft white light from a few lit candles here and there. Standing in windows alcoves are 2 life-size statues depicting knights with dragon-winged helms and shields. Rainwater trickles down through the cracks in the ceiling above you, flowing down the west wall and adding to a large puddle on the floor. And then a huge double-sided door leads from this room to the north. And then directly to your right is this already open door that you can see the foyer, the hallway that you've already been in through it. So you're in over there.
Right. Oh, so we've done like a complete loop around.
Yes.
Okay.
You went in here, and you basically and then you came in.
Benny Hill theme song.
Yes.
Okay.
Mateji.
Sorry, go ahead. I was at the end of the description.
Yes. So you have this fancy double door that has panels of depicted silver dragons in flights above it in like 3 glass paned windows that leads in some filtered light. Otherwise, it's empty and decrepit like the rest of this place.
As for that, is there any silver dragon symbology within your order, or is this foreign to you?
We know
No.
this is right. No.
Except
Don't
for a
you-
symbol that is a dragon that is made out of silver, but I haven't heard of any other. I thought it had something to do with the majesty of dragons or something like that. I have no idea.
Because
I fell asleep during our history lessons.
you are a silver dragonborn, aren't you?
Yes, I believe so.
So is this just some crazy coincidence, or is there some connection we're missing on?
She kind of moves her whole head, and her neck kind of cranes down to look at you.
I take a step back.
Yeah.
But I can't be intimidated by us.
Huh. I never considered such. I thought it was just a coincidence. I don't know. But then again, Madame Eva did speak about destiny, but I have no idea what my place is in it.
I don't think any of us know that really at this point.
I think the best answers that that's what I can get would be coming out from Hornguard's mouth. If he is this ancient knight, he might have the knowledge that the walls do not tell.
Speaking of Master Horngard and what our possessed spirit did make Illyria say, it is my advice that we do not mention that. What were you saying? We want to kill Strahd was your possessed self words.
I think that is reasonable. We can probably get around saying that.
Well, and one last set of doors here, or do we go upstairs and seek this Grand Master?
Well, as far as I recall, you were saying that there were some undead hits, auras this direction, right?
Yes. To the east.
Not through
Think I can
beyond, because if we are, so we're like here, right? And
Yes.
you said that there was like undead that way, not
Yes.
upwards, but straight that way.
Yes.
So on this level, but so
Straight,
which is through
yeah.
those to the left, if my orientation is right, is straight upwards, right? So straight forward. So
Yes.
that would mean that's where the hits were on this level, and there were what, 3, right? You said 3?
2.
Was it 2?
Hur ofta har jag sagt att jag har fel?
And there were 3 upstairs.
Hur ofta?
The rest is upstairs.
Hur ofta har du sagt?
Can you tell Yoi to tone it down a little bit?
He's very excited when he plays games.
Oh wow, yeah, I can hear that. I cannot blame him. I'm like that too.
So it's a question of here, like we can either go upstairs where there's a lot more of your undead, or do you want to stay down here, go through these doors and figure out who's there, and maybe discover some more secrets before heading up? I mean, the choice is yours, that's what
Nyx, you are proving yourself to be rather stealthy. Perhaps you can turn invisible and see whatever is beyond these doors.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
But if you choose scared, then we can move it together.
No, it's not about. Listen, I'm not scared. I swear. It is more about the fact that I can only do that once a day. It feels like once before I take a nap, and I don't know if I might need such a ability to go invisible, or maybe.
Invisible.
Then what about we're opening these doors with a crack and then let our moth friend go through?
Well, it looks like Amatia just did the whole invisible thing, so
Yeah, I need to roll a soul check, I think.
Oh,
it's not SM. Oh.
No, it's not.
All right.
okay. Do a soul check!
Först ska vi ta nu.
Bisule Shakaru.
Ah shit, I forgot to do the macro. No! Okay, give me a moment. What's my spellcasting modifier?
You tell me.
I think it's a +7, but I just want to make sure.
Uh,
It's been a while!
Think
Yes,
you
it's
can have a. It's a +7. Can you have a +7 at this level?
Yeah?
I mean, you're at level 6 now, right?
Oh no, that's true. Yeah, I have a +8. Fair enough.
Yeah.
18!
That's fine. That's fine.
I'll be back once I find something. Until then, ciao.
Ciao. What is this ciao?
I don't know. I had it in the book too.
All right, you open one of these double doors very, very carefully. Make me a stealth dexterity, please.
Okay.
With
Do I get
advantage.
advantage because I'm invisible?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. Let me see my stealthing. I think I'm pretty stealthy, but it's been a while. Yeah, I am pretty stealthy. Can I use cunning?
This is based upon not making the hinges squeal, so no, it's dex.
Fine.
Plus 7.
21.
I mean, you're fine. Okay, so you crack open the door very, very carefully. It still makes a little bit of a sound, but it's so small, considering the sound of the wind in this place and the trickling of the puddle. That's not really noticeable, and you sneak through this little gap whilst you're in your invisible form to see this.
Excuse me?
Who the fuck are these guys?
Cracked pillars support a wooden U-shaped balcony above your head, Harmonia. That overhangs the stone-walled chapel. Narrow archways lead to spiral staircases that curl up towards the balcony on the two sides, and a door set into the west wall has a wooden beam barring it. At the end of the chapel rests a stone altar, flanked by iron candelabras on both sides. Tall, arcing windows set with panels of stained glass decorate the walls behind. One of the windows have been shattered, covering the chapel floor with shards of colored glass and allowing the thick fog to enter and fill the room with its gloom. And through this fog, you clearly see these two armored figures kneeling before the altar. They are two large humanoids, one rather Dragon Ball-like with long pointy horns behind its that moves backwards. The other one, the color of black scales but has no horns. They kneel in reverent silence, and you can't help to wonder to yourself when they began their prayer session and when they plan to stop. And with that, we're gonna go for a quick break.
No! No! No breaks! Okay, fine. I'm going to the bathroom now because you told me so.
Yeah! You do that! I'm gonna go and get myself a drink. Be right back. Alright, here I am. I am back.
Yeah, Chemo with a tier 3 resub. Nice.
Yeah. I am like tier 3, like what? I don't deserve it, thank you so much.
Första gången. Fan! Jag är tagen varje gång.
I try to mute as much as possible, but sometimes, you know.
Yeah. I guess he just likes playing games every night.
Not a resub, a sub anniversary. Well, 9-month streak is kind of mayor. Kind of mayor. Siggy is definitely the one who holds the crown though. With 33 months. That's cray. So lucky to have you all.
Fuel the curses.
It feels so cozy to sit down and, you know, roleplay and then know that some of you are listening to our shenanigans in chat. It feels like a big group hug in a sense. It's very nice. Alright, now we're just waiting for Cookie.
I'm back, but not because he told me to come back. Because he didn't.
Well, I would have forced you to come back one way or the other, otherwise I'm gonna get really mad.
No! I would never live out of my own free will.
I'm glad to hear it. Thank you. Doing my best. Doing my best. It's only been 9 months with the player going on. I could swear it's been years. That's true. Kind of feels that way, Hamo. For sure.
I feel like a bit different. Ever since like 2020, it doesn't feel like a year. It feels like a bunch of months. Doesn't feel like one full year, like 2 years.
True.
It feels like so many months, man. Been so many months since COVID, but a year, no. 2 years, no.
Yeah, it's been like 2 years now. It's kind of cray.
Oh, it's coming up to 3, right?
I was in the end of. It was in January. Like, it was discovered in 2019 December, and then it became a thing in January 2020.
And we didn't.
Well, for like Suku, for example, and when I was over there too, it started more in
2020,
November, December
that's true.
In 2019.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
in fact, today is an anniversary, I think, for the death of the whistleblower doctor, who told the world about COVID.
Oh. Sad. Anyway, role-playing games.
Yay, we're okay.
Let's not talk about
Escapism.
Let's talk about
and talk about a planned curse for thousands of years.
Yeah.
Of misery and death.
Genocide of bats and, you know.
Escapism.
Yeah. We trade one misery for another misery. Woo!
The curse of Mother Misery.
Okay.
So,
Are you doing your right there? Something like.
Welcome back, Lyra. Julie. Oh my god, names!
Who am I? Oh boy.
Who are you? Indeed. Okay. So, let's start it up again. Hamarnia, you have just opened one of these doors up, and it kind of like sneaked into just like 2 or 3 steps in here to see what's up. And you're met with the the pillars, the balcony, and the 2 figures in the mists by the altar. What do you want to do?
Am I at the entrance right now? Like where the door is?
Indeed, you're just like 2 steps in. No more than that.
Yeah, I will slowly skedaddle back, actually.
Okay. You made sure not to close the door completely because that's unnecessary when it comes to like making sounds. So I would just allow you to just sneak on back.
Very cool. And I am going to come back. And once I see the party, the first thing, Bartos for Matthias mind is to tie Nix's shoelaces together while she's invisible, but she thinks better of it.
He doesn't have shoelaces.
Shit!
Shoelaces don't exist.
You don't? Okay, so
Well, I mean, they could do, but I mean, yeah, he doesn't. He has boots.
Yes,
So like they're like riding boots with a zipper.
party pooper. But she thinks better of it, and instead she will just give him a slight psst. Hey, listen here. We have two individuals back there. Both seem rather spooky. One bears resemblance to Asphodels, but his scale tone is much darker. The other one also seems to be full of skills, but without the horns that someone like Asphodel has. And they seem to be praying inside this little chapel.
Would you describe their tone as the same color as the arm Aswada recently produced?
Is that
It's a
What
dark red for the arm.
No, it's a different tone. They look like someone painted them black, like there is this shadow swallowing them.
And what were they doing?
They were praying in front of
To
the
what?
altar. I don't know. I didn't really want to get close to two well-trained undead killing machines without some backup.
Right, but you're sneaky. You're invisible. So
But I'm not stupid, so didn't do that. I won't let my curiosity get me killed.
okay, but look, you left the door open a little bit. Maybe just like stuff salt through there, right? You can do that.
If you're so curious, why don't you do it yourself? I gather Dracon. Whatever they pray for, it's none of my business. It can be Strahd, it can be your Boreas. I don't care, and frankly, that's not relevant. What's relevant is the fact that they're there. So what do you want to do?
Well, now we have to make assumptions. Because you didn't want to
Die.
investigate. I mean, you could have stayed a little longer to understand what's going on in there.
No, they were just praying there in silence.
At least we know where these undead sources that I smelled, is. It's like a spider that you have in your room. As long as you know where it is, it's not that bad. But when it goes out of your sight, now that's when it becomes terrifying.
So, do you want to squish the spider?
Well,
No, a spider can be sometimes useful.
so what's the plan? We'll leave them to their praying?
If we still need to meet Grandmaster Horngard, do we want to expend ourselves fighting two other? Remember how it went yesterday? On the other hand, it could be good to clear our back, but they always come back.
I would remind you that yesterday we were heavily handicapped.
True, we can try to launch some kind of sneak attack on them, but
To
then
what end,
what?
though? Like
Indeed.
attacking people or undead creatures that have been here for centuries just to enact some sort of vengeance when who knows why they're here. Right now we know they're praying, and to what or to who we don't know that, but they're not bothering us, and unless there's something shiny in there that could perhaps offer a great advantage, and he looks around to see if Hamatia. He tries to give Hamatia the eye, but she's invisible, so he can't even see. So he's to the general vicinity of where her voice is.
She's constantly stepping between everyone so that it comes from a different place.
Oh my god. Yeah, so like, unless you saw something shiny in there, Hamatia, or something so relevant that it warrants interrupting these praying folk.
I do not believe something like that caught my eye, no.
Then I say we leave them to it.
I didn't see anything super special about this place.
No iconography, no sort of big old poster saying Yestrad or something else.
No, I'm afraid I did not see a poster saying Yay Strahd.
You didn't really stay long enough to see whatever was
Fuck! Okay.
was on the
engineer
windows there. Of the 2 windows that remained, they weren't
Fine,
shattered, but
Fine. Maybe I'll go back, okay? Fine.
That's the spirit.
You don't see it, but I'm giving it. You don't see it, but I'm making a good gesture towards you right now.
I'm sure you are.
Actually, I don't because I have no idea what finger to use. Weird.
yeah. Roll me again, stealth dexterity with advantage.
Fuck me!
It's advantage, you know. You're not in Lyria's boat right now.
Yeah, Lyra's doing great.
Yeah, no, you're as stealthy as before.
I feel like someone who goes to a job interview and thinks he accidentally went to the wrong place, and then he goes back, and then he realizes that's the right place, so he comes back again.
That's oddly specific.
Yeah.
Don't ask.
Shit, after
Alright, let's move your
för
the scenery. Come on.
I don't know what you're talking about. That never happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
för att
Mhm.
ha lite
Uh-huh.
It's okay, I never had a job interview in my life.
It's a
Well,
good
you'll get
experience.
there.
It's a good experience. Anyway, Harmardia,
Yeah.
you sneak back in. You still hadn't closed the door, so it's easier this time, hence 22 instead of 21. And you barely make any sound as you take a step in or two. You have to go a little bit further because the mist kind of comes in these ebbs and flows, kind of obscuring the front of this chapel. So it's a little bit hard to see exactly what is depicted.
I'm
So
gonna step a little bit. Sneakily step a little bit, I should say.
the 2 figures by the altar you can see that they had their eyes closed. They're not uttering any prayers out loud, and they seem like statues, like the undead that you met by the dragon statue, that they can just remain still for a very long time, like they were dead.
I
Haha.
didn't see them. I have no fucking clue.
No, you kind of went up there together, and then that's what I step 4. I explained that the undead by the dragon statue. Well, anyway.
You mean that's the dragon statue? Yeah, I fucking
Yeah.
know the dragon statue. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
But you creep up a little bit closer, and there's no need to roll any check. You just need to stand there for a little bit longer and creep a little bit further to take in the whole thing. So you got one central stained window, and then 2 on the sides. One of the one on the sides, the one that would be in this corner here, is broken, but the one over here and the one over here is not. The one in the other corner is this kneeling figure, dressed in a steel fancy plate armor that is looking up and praying towards whatever is the central piece. And indeed, the central piece is this large mountain range with a sunrise, a sun coming up from behind it.
Oh, actually, okay, cool. Any symbology that I might see? Anything, any shiny, as Nick so delightfully puts it?
Make me an intelligence check.
Any what?
Intelligence check. Do it now.
Okay. Aww.
Aww.
Honestly, that's me every time I have to roll any check at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's free for me. Oh man, the glass is made out of glass.
I mean, it's a mountain range with the sun. Oh.
Okay, do I see anything else that might be interesting here? Do I see
It's-
anything on the altar?
It's rather Spartan, actually. It's just a stone slab, and there seems to have been some urns that have been smashed, but you have to get very, very much closer to inspect that.
Yeah, I won't do that. I come back.
Okay.
No,
Sneak
yeah,
back
come
in
back a third
again.
time, who knows?
through not closing the door completely, just leaving its tiny bit ajar.
Yeah, it's a ritual by this point.
Ja.
För ni har ingen voice. Och det förklarar vad min spelare ska göra.
What
Okay.
did you see this time, Amalia?
Okay, so first of all, no shinies, unfortunately. Second of all, there were a bit of like paintings on the walls, on the windows. It looked like some figure in a brilliant plate armor playing to a mountain range, which is apparently depicting dawn, I believe. But I didn't really catch anything else other than that, and the whole symbology of this place is, well, not area of expertise. So,
Mountain.
Do you think it's the Morning Lord? I mean,
Power.
there's not many options in terms of entities to pray to in Barovia, so
No, that sounds rather simple to me. The amount of time I spent in the Valaki church, that iconography was all around. I mean, even around the priest's necks, they all wore these mountain ranges with the sun coming up from behind them. So indeed, that must be the Morning Lord.
why would they be praying to the Morning Lord?
From what I
Isn't he-
remember from the village of Barovia, when I listened to what was his name? Right, Father Donovich holding his funeral for Arena and Ismark's father. The psalms he was uttering and the whole ritual sounded rather familiar to the ones that I've heard the Copperbeards use, and indeed the order for Boreas.
Jag tänkte väl...
I thought we already established that Boreas and the Morning Lord probably stem from the same origins.
isn't Boreas like really strong and the Morning Lord kind of a charm? What I've heard, the Morning Lord is
Vad har hänt till?
like really weak and feeble and unable to take care of his people.
I don't think that really is here nor there what you think of the Morning Lord.
It's not what I believe, it's what Mother Dearest said.
It makes little difference what their opinions are. I mean, the question here is, we are in a castle here, right? We are in a castle that is full of undead creatures, of whom have professed their undying love for Strahd. And yet we are now faced with this conundrum of two dragonborns, dark dragonborns, you said?
One is a dragonborn, the other one I'm not so sure. His whole facial structure was a bit different.
Right. And they are praying in a chapel, two of which has symbology to the Morning Lord. There's a little bit of a strange, like, it doesn't make sense. Back me up here, Illyria. It doesn't make sense, right?
I mean, not really, although I think we toyed with the idea that they might be bound in a way by the curse or something similar.
I itch more and more to speak to this Grandmaster Horngard of the Sir Gwillem.
True. I mean, we are making assumptions here. The question is, are we going to engage with these prayers, or are we just going to let them go and save our strength for Horngard?
I believe we shouldn't disturb them.
I agree. Let's meet with those who we are here to meet, and maybe we can get out of this without additional bloodshed.
That is the hope, but we shall see. Then up we must go.
Quite optimistic.
After you.
Alright. Asphodel moves out through this open doorway and back in here and starts going up the stairs.
Should I drop my invisibility?
I mean, keep it going until you don't need it anymore, but I would just, if you leave the room, I don't know. Give Illyria a pat or something.
Yeah, I'm going to stick by you. If I see that things are turning into a diplomatic stalemate, or maybe if you don't attack us outright, I'll pop it back out of it to ensure trust.
Less about trust and just being smart here. They seem to be combatants, or at least know what it means to be strategic.
Wait, you said there was 2 staircases leading upwards, but then there was a third door that was barred? Did you see where that went?
Jag älskar också att porra henne.
Amatya?
Hmm?
Astrid is talking to you.
Yes.
No, I did not see.
But how do you expect Amatya to see through a barred door?
God, give me
Well, where did it lead?
I don't know. I cannot see through walls despite what you built.
You remember it was towards the north, towards the north.
I went northward, but I have no idea what's behind it, let's say.
In the kitchen, we saw windows leading out to a cemetery, so perhaps it's a door leading to that.
Outside?
Yes, outside.
I mean, based on the architecture and layout of this place, perhaps.
Okay.
If we need to head towards the cemetery for any reason, I don't know what you're thinking. As for that, I personally have no intention of wandering through a graveyard.
It might be prudent, but we're here to figure out what happened.
We are? I thought we were here to deliver the necklaces and say, hey, don't kill us.
That too, but then you argued that we should.
Well, I was arguing about you, not arguing. I
felt like we have changed sides. Let's move upwards.
I would think we need to know who we're dealing with. Not that we're investigating for no reason whatsoever.
Yes, I know. As was said, and then she kind of stomps up the central staircase here.
Astrid, are you okay?
Yes, considering that we are in a place that is swimming of undead that are incapable of dying.
True, but they are capable of losing their limbs.
Right, we have yet to try out that tactic.
I mean, one is incapable of dying until he dies, so there might be a way, but we're just not aware of it.
Well, based on what we saw outside, they were just killing each other over and over and over. So I don't know if killing and killing without some sort of permanent removal, like burning the corpses or
dismembering them.
Dismembering.
Each limb in a nice little coffin of its own.
Yes, all of that. You've done a lot of things. Anyway,
All right.
Which way, Asada?
Yes, as you step up here, you can see there are these 2 balconies that run across this hallway. At the end of them, towards the door of which you came, are 2 staircases that lead further upwards. Then you have a door over here, then a central hallway that leads this way that seems to lead towards the ruined parts of the south side of the building, and another similar hallway that leads this way that are not ruined. And likewise on the lower floor there also a door over here and a door over there.
I mean, at this point, we're kind of relying on Asphyda knowing which way to go.
All right, so Asphyda says to wait a moment as she smells in the air a bit.
Sniff, 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 sniff.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier now to figure out where things are when she's in the same kind of level of things. And after a minute, she comes to and she points vaguely in the direction towards the north.
What is a genuine lesson?
I sense 5 sources in this direction. 2 slightly to the left and 3 slightly to the right. And then, yes, nothing else here.
So which way do you think? I mean, if we are meant to be having this liaison with Horngard, I mean, are they moving? Are they just staying still? I mean,
Har det inte pratat med Daniel?
Faintly, but not leaving their area.
okay.
It depends upon if we find any more shiny things. Or clues to tell us who these guys are.
Right. Well, I mean, we can continue to investigate if you use your nose to determine where there are no undead and keep going that way, or we can do what we're here to do and have the confrontation. Do you feel ready to have a confrontation, or do you feel like you still want to discover more?
I don't know if we will ever be ready for such a confrontation. It's a question if we don't think we have enough answers.
Personally, I don't think we have. I mean, that's just me, though. I get that they are honorable, and it's curious that they have 2
What makes you say they're honorable?
who are purely based on honorable fighting. And the fact that Illyria shouted at them that she wanted, well, not Illyria, apologies, Illyria. Illyria's possession, ghost, sister thing, shouted at these undead creatures, and that she wanted to kill them. And only until then were they aggressive, and they were listening to us up until that point. So that's why I think they are at least somewhat, well, honorable.
Every room but we went to we left it with more questions than actual answers, and I believe these answers lie in someone whom we can actually speak with.
Then let's go to the source. The Grandmaster's room will probably be central and higher up in the building. Considering these undead smells that I'm sensing here to the south, is not central enough. Let's carry on upwards again.
Jag trodde det skulle vara
Let's turn here and move upwards.
Okay.
All right.
Okie dokie.
Okay. Then Asveda stomps on.
Då tycker jag att du skulle raka.
Stomp. Let's see. Yeah. Let's use a more
Holy shit,
cinematic one, I think. Yeah.
Oof.
Okay. So here in this picture here, coming up this hallway here. Behind is like a drapery that is covering the spiral staircase that comes up to this landing in this hallway. There's a door over here. There's a longer hallway that eventually leads to another doorway, and indeed, in the middle of it all, let's see, move up a floor here. The roof just straight ahead has collapsed, creating a several meter diameter gaping hole with broken rafters bisecting it. Dark storm clouds roll across the sky overhead. The floor is piled with rocks, broken tiles, shattered beams, and other debris. Beneath the rubble lie a sagging floor and puddles of rainwater. But all of these impressions of this new environment that you step into as Asphodel leads you very carefully down this hallway is absolutely overshadowed by the massive ghost-like dragon sitting on top of this pile of this rubble. Its form is see-through, and in the beam of shadowy moonlight it sits in, the dancing dust particles in the air appear to you like snowflakes than anything else. Its head turns towards you, and in a rumbling tone it says, "Hush. We must speak, but not here. Come, honored guests." The massive dragon stands up and walks to the furthest door to your left, and then disappears through it.
As in like a ghost, like goes through the...
Yes, like a ghost.
Okay.
Ghost!
For fuck's sake. That's a ghost dragon.
You say that like you've seen one before. Have you seen ghost dragons?
Is that a common
No.
sight for you, Illyria?
No, I guess it's just how I cope with those things.
I mean, what's with the non-reaction? It's a fucking ghost dragon! It's like, what the hell is it doing it? What the fuck? What? Why is it? What? Why?
You see,
That's absolutely fascinating. A ghost dragon.
I do think those things, I just don't express them the same way you do, and that is fine.
That was very energetic, but I understand. A ghost dragon, that's like amazing. I want to ride one.
What is wrong with you people? You just look at it. Oh, it's a ghost dragon. Yay, okay, fine. Or, oh, I want to ride that thing. It's a ghost dragon!
Fuck!
Okay, you can freak out after we talk to it.
Sure. Let's talk to the ghost dragon. It's all fine.
I mean, we're just assuming things just because it's a ghost dragon. Maybe it's a friendly ghost dragon. You don't know, Nix.
It did call us guests, Nix. That's a good sign.
It's a ghost dragon with manners.
True, it is. Fair enough. Okay, maybe I was a little hasty to cast the first stone here. I've never met a ghost dragon. I don't know how to react. I'm sorry.
Although,
You know,
to be
your apology is accepted.
God.
I'm dying here!
Yeah, please don't make me laugh or you scoff.
Shall we go? And Illyria just looks towards Asphodel.
Yes, I would recommend you all to continue being careful, but I think that is obvious.
I think it's a little obvious. Yes.
Yeah, I think I'm dropping this a bit. I don't want to fuck with a ghost dragon.
I guess that's a thing we can all agree on.
Is Hamachi still invisible?
Nope.
She drops
Okay.
it.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, let's go have tea with the ghost dragon, right?
Okay.
Oh, maybe he has ghost dragon tea. I wonder how ghosts.
Let's not assume, shall we?
No, maybe they're very polite after they die.
Let's see. We don't have.
Oh my god.
See, we entered the room. We thought we'd find an answer, and we find the ghost dragon, and we're leaving with more questions. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, maybe he has some answers for us.
It seemed like they were expecting us. So, okay, I will get a hold of myself if you can promise me there will be no more surprises as for that. You have the nose to smell these things, and a little bit of a heads up. Hey guys, there may be a giant ghost dragon above us. Might be nice. Just saying. Just FYI, if you could manage it.
Have you considered that if we do not follow this dragon, then it might find us because it's a ghost dragon, and when it does, it will not be happy.
What?
I think we should.
We should
now
get
follow the
going.
dragon.
Fucking yes, we should go.
Let's keep things mannered. It is a ghost dragon, and I don't think any of us want to have a scuffle with it.
For once, Hamatia, I agree with you that I don't want a ghost dragon following me.
I am glad we're on the same page.
This is a first. I feel like we should celebrate this moment.
No, we should not. We should be equally afraid, terrified, and a little bit cautious.
Fine,
And
let's go.
fascinated. Okay.
Follow me. Asphodel slowly walks through the corridor down to the second pair of doors here on the left side of the building, and as you do, you kind of look back into the central room that you have a clear view into, and even though you're scared and wants to follow this dragon, you still cast an eye behind you to keep track of your environment. And there you see this large audience hall that is somewhat crumbled. Weapons and shields once hung from these walls and succumbed to the floor and to rust. Scattered there, it's bones everywhere. And the walls are scorched with marks of many battles of yore. A large wooden throne carved to resemble a dragon with unfolding wings faces away from you and towards 3 tall windows at the end of the room. And on it, you can barely hint something slumped on it.
Is it a ghost dragon?
No, it's not a ghost dragon. It's something else there sitting. But you walk past it, as I said, just looking behind you, but then goes into this door over here to follow the ghost dragon.
Ghost dragon! There's something strange in the Rovia land.
In Agavan Halls.
We're gonna go!
God.
Ghost dragon!
You
I
guys.
hate this.
You guys. Look at me being so prepared.
With ghost dragons? Sure.
I mean, I guess.
Oh my god. My whole Roll20 is freaking out.
It
Can
is?
you shift click to take me there on the camera?
Yeah. Shift click. Hello?
Shifting. Thank you.
Down here you are.
Mhm.
Let me move my notes to the right location. There's a lot of rooms here to keep track of.
Nej, jag ramlade.
Okay. Asphodel reaches and opens the door because she's such a gentleman. Here you go.
Oj, jag ska hitta det.
And she steps in with a halberd. I mean, she has her halberd on her, but she's not having it in a threatening kind of stance. She's a little bit too scared for that. Yeah, just carrying it. She's using it as a walking stick, I guess. Anyway, this room is certainly a haven for dust and cobwebs. 3 narrow windows allow slivers of light to illuminate bare oak shelves along the walls and torn padded chair lying on the side near a cavernous hearth. A picture above the mantel has been slashed, its lower half hanging down below the frame like a torn piece of flesh. An iron door set in the south corner of the north corner of the wall hangs open on one hinge.
Is there no giant freaking ghost dragon?
Not immediately. Not immediately. You kind of hold your breath as Asphodel opens the door, and then it's like nothing there. And you're like, what?
Am I being teased by a dragon?
Well, it's a ghost. So it could have just kept on going. We were a little bit slow to keep up, so but it couldn't have gone that far.
As for that, do you know where Ghost Dragon is?
I can try to search for undead sources again, but I didn't immediately sense the thing.
Oh, wait, what? You didn't? So, me yelling at you?
I mean, I
Is it wrong?
assume the little coal lizard turned into like a child-sized dragon and then turned into this. And the first time I tried to sense it, it was very hard.
I mean, it's a... But wait, you can sense ghosts, right? They're technically part of your deal, right?
Yes, the
But-
RG purifiers taught me.
And you couldn't detect this one.
Once I was very close up to it, it was very faint. That's why I'm a little bit on edge.
I think all of us are.
To
Mixes.
your left here, these bookshelves, and over here in the northern corner, they are all empty. There are a few like pieces of parchment that is on the floor, but what were probably once a respectable library has been pilfered.
Nix is thinking that he trusts Asphodel.
Mm-hmm.
He knows when Asphodel is, being straightforward. Asphodel is always straightforward, but the fact that she couldn't tell, it's not like she would lie to him.
No.
So now his little noodle is cranking. It's like, okay, if I don't know if this ghost dragon is waiting for us on the other side of another door, but if they really wanted to speak to us urgently, they would be waiting here for us, no? But they're not. And the fact that you cannot sense them, Asphodel, this is getting me a little bit thinky, it's... What if this is some sort of magic?
You mean some kind of illusion?
Maybe.
Maybe.
There are such things.
But
And,
are we prepared to believe that the ghost dragon is an illusion and not do as it says?
I think we have to consider all of the options.
Well, there's a set of doors over there, and something over here. Perhaps we just went further, as you said.
Well, my... if you give me 10 minutes, I could do the detect magic, and at least that way, I mean, right now you have been very kind in sniffing out the undead. Maybe I can help you here and sniff out the dragons.
All right. If we are prepared to make the dragon wait for a bit, that'd be
Well,
my
it's either
best.
that or stumble into another room where there are some praying
True.
argent dragons. So it's just merely being cautious.
Let's sharpen our apologies just in case, and take it cautiously.
Nyx looks to Hamati and to Illyria like, good idea? Question mark? Eyebrow raise because he has eyebrows.
I am frankly at a loss for words. I have no idea.
None of us do. The only thing we can do is be cautious, so we can live to tell the tale. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be an amazing chapter of my book. And he takes grabs the book off his chain, which is hanging from his belt, and goes to sit on the carpet and start reading softly to himself a ritual casting of detect magic. He sits cross-legged, looking. Yeah.
Cool.
The moment you actually mention that you're writing a book and you pull it out, you see Hamatia's eye glow for a second, and then she wants to say something, but she holds her tongue.
It's not the first time you've seen him about the books.
Yeah, but she's a nerd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Illyria?
Oh, Illyria just kind of goes here. You do like books, huh?
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're speaking with me. Oh, yes. It's not really that relevant of a trait of mine, but being raised the way I was raised, I needed some way to get away from things, and I found them in books that some of the Wallachians have, or some of the traveling Vistani sold, or stories they told. I would be fascinated by them. I love literature, I love fairy tales, I love poems, and everything everything written in ink I just adore, absolutely.
I mean, X is a great storyteller.
I don't doubt it. Seems to be the right kind.
Asvada moves into the room with Nyx to kind of protect him, and she steps a little bit further into it than Nyx. And then she steps over this plank over here. You all hear at the same time, even there Nyx on the floor that is currently concentrating, the very soft sound of flapping wings just behind your neck, and it kind of makes all of your hairs on your neck kind of stand on tall, but you cannot discern its origin when you turn around. Then a single piece of parchment blows off the top of this bookshelf over here, spirals lazily in the air, and lands gently at Asfada's feet. After Asfada looks around a little bit, worried, with her, halberd a little bit raised in case there's something dangerous around, and when she cannot discern any kind of threat, she leans down and picks it up and looks at it.
This place is giving me the creeps.
We have a defense mission.
Asfada is now cursed.
That's what they. Shit, she's dead. That's my word kill, and she's dead.
It's a scroll of power word kill.
Oh, what's that? Die. Fuck. That's one
Can
way
you
to
imagine?
Yep.
Another word for Death Note. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kill dragonborns with one hand and spook people with the other one.
Oh my god. I know that you can put level 9 spells into a scroll, but still, it'd be funny as hell.
I think you can, technically, right?
I think they're limited to 5th level.
Oh.
But at least in D&D they are, so I don't know.
Made any changes.
If Asfada isn't reacting to this page in any manner.
No, she's busy reading something.
Yeah, so meanwhile, Hamatia will pull out Sol and use him as a flashlight to scour the room.
Okay. You see like what seems to be some kind of destroyed storage room over here. Seems to be a door that is slightly ajar over here that Saul is uncertain if it should fly through, and then you have this set of double doors here. And through these windows you can look out on the very mist-filled cemetery below. And since you're taking some extra time looking about, you do see a little bit of a larger structure at the corner of the cemetery now that you're also a bit above it.
Oh. Does it look like a mausoleum or something?
Rather similar to that, indeed.
Oh, I see. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna tell Saul to go in center duty and tell us if the people fighting at the entrance stop fighting, and report, and if they are at any point stop fighting, to report back to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there is a window over here that Saul can use, I guess.
Hey, Sergeant Saul, you are on guard duty. If anything happens, you report to me right away.
I killed him right away?
No, you can't kill them.
Oh, I see. You want to be a part of the bloodshed? That's okay.
No.
Just for you. I was sharing it.
Yes, you can be part of the bloodshed, but I don't want them to hurt you, so don't do anything that hurts you, okay? If they see you or catch you or someone tries to, get you, you fly away, okay?
Fine.
Fine. Thank you,
I don't
Sergeant
like
Saul.
it, but for you, you owe me some blood for this, though.
I don't bleed, so I can't repay you in blood.
What?
For
You
blood
don't
that
bleed?
does not exist.
I've seen you bleed.
Fine, I'll spill some blood for you later. Sure, I'll find a rabbit or something and kill it.
That sounds great.
Maybe let's wait until we actually fight people who need to die, and then we'll revel in the blood, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Sergeant Saul, I'll give you a little salute. Back to your post.
Yes, sir.
Jag fixar det nu. Men vi måste
Okej.
komma tillbaks till vart
Asphodel comes back to you all after reading the paper, crumbling softly to herself. This is interesting. Seems
What
to
does
be
it say?
a torn out journal page. It's in Draconic, so let me translate. Nix, are you able to listen whilst you're concentrating?
I believe I can do two things at once. It's not the first time someone has called me multitasking talented.
Okay. So it says, "My knights have fallen, and his land is lost. The armies of my enemy will not be stopped by sword, spell, claw, or fang. Today, I will die, not avenging those who have fallen, but defending that which I love. This valley is home, and the ideals of the Order of the Silver Dragon." He comes. The Tyres come to throw off disguise and show them my true fearsome form. Let it spark terror in their hearts. Let them tell their stories of dark triumph against the protector of the Balanock Mountains. Let Argynvost be remembered as a dragon of honor and valor. My one regret is that my remains may not lie in the rightful place in the hallowed mausoleum of Argynvost Holt. No doubt my bones will be scattered among my enemies like the coins of a plundered hoard, trophies of a hard-won victory. I do not fear death, Though my body will die, I'm sure my spirit will live on in some way. Let it serve as a beacon of light against this force of corruption. Let it bring hope to a land wrought with despair. Now to battle. Signed A. And Asvada looks up from the paper and looks at all of you.
The dragon, could it be?
It might be.
So they might have fought against?
I thought
They're behind
again,
you.
then why are they trying to keep him alive?
Well, they lost.
Maybe he cursed them or something. I'm just throwing stuff in the dark.
Well, we don't necessarily know who they fought, but
They fought to defend a valley wrought with despair, and we're standing in Barovia.
I mean, as far as conquering goes, you know. Pretty sure the Zarovich Empire was pretty good at that one.
They were. So, if we know this is earlier than the curse, or maybe it is with the curse. Maybe they fought Strahd once he went nuts or something.
I find it hard to believe that anyone would describe this valley as their home and something beautiful to protect unless they knew how it was before the curse. But that's my personal opinion.
Nobody would call this place beautiful, even the people who do call this place their home. We know it's a shithole. This has to be from a time before the curse began. This is so weird. Makes me angry.
Let's wait and see what Nyx has to say. Takes you like 2 more minutes, Nyx, until you finish your ritual. But at the point that you do, there's something elusive, made of magic, that is in this room. Primal.
Is it a dragon?
But it's not like you can't really touch it. You cannot really capture it. This essence kind of floats away as soon as you try to bring your mind to it. However, like a small silvery thread,
Oh my god!
it always connects to a single piece of furniture in his room. And that's
Oh fuck.
the tarnished painting above the mantelpiece just in front of you. There's definitely a strong aura of
Yeah.
illusion around it.
Stand up from my seated position, and I take in the surroundings of the mysteriously difficult origin to trace where this magic is. And as it tethers towards that painting, I look to Asvada and I say, there's something about that picture, Asvada, that is bringing some sort of illusionary kind of magic to it. It's a little bit destroyed, but maybe if you use your halberd to pin it up, push it up, maybe there's something about it. But and Nyx takes a step away from the picture. I'm not sure why a picture would become an illusion unless it is not a picture at all. So use caution.
Yep.
Asvada steps up, kind of tickles her shin a little bit as she looks at it. It's destroyed. Do you, any one of you, have the means of repairing objects?
Ja, massa.
Sadly, not I.
Illyria shakes her head. I'm just good at destroying things.
This whole advanced magic thing eludes me.
Martia, you found yourself a needle, didn't you?
Ja, efter vi är klara med
I did, yes.
Perhaps we can sew the canvas together?
I'll start you. What are we looking for exactly?
Well, this is I'm asking. Can you not like use your halberd, or I mean, use your hands if you want to, but what are we exactly repairing? We can't see without moving it.
Maybe if we just push it together. And Asphodite indeed steps forward, kind of reaches out. She's so tall that she kind of is able to comfortably reach over the mantelpiece and up there in the air and kind of push it together. And as she does push the H canvas back into place, you see a picture of this fortress in way better days, under clear winter skies with snow-capped mountains in the background. The top of the centralmost tower in the central of the structure, it's a large, shining, silvery blue beacon of light that comes from it, like a lighthouse.
I get closer to the picture as Esther just holding it up and try and determine if, because like this has been like a ruined castle, like it's been broken. It's like, is there any way I can determine like at what point on, you know, the full castle, like where that would have been?
Time-wise?
No, not when, but where. Like where would such a lighthouse exist in this castle if it was existing today?
Oh yeah. It's you saw it kind of when you were outside, that furthest back in the center, rising from the central square-like structure. There's another tower that indeed is the source of this light. But you didn't see any light, you know, when you were outside.
There's a tower outside?
When you were outside by the dragon statue, when you surveilled this whole thing, you could see that it was a bit of a square kind of structure with 4 towers in each corner. And then furthest back off the square in the center, there was another tower that rose up.
Oh, okay. So like at the furthest back in the center,
yes.
Like okay, okay. But that we haven't seen that, right? We haven't.
Not since you were outside. You haven't found any staircase that could lead up to that, but you haven't. Well, you did see a. No, you haven't seen any staircase right now that leads further upwards.
No, but when we were looking at like the graveyard, that like looks north, right? Or to look east?
East, right now.
So would that not have? We would not have a glimpse of like a tower beyond the graveyard or something?
I know. On top of the fortress that you're in, there's a central tower beyond the 4 in the corners.
Oh, okay. I look at it and say, "Hey, you can see this, right? Can you see this little light?"
I wouldn't call it little, Nix.
No, I know, but I mean, it's a little painting. Just like, can you see the fact that? Okay, it's a picture of when it was in its heyday, right? But why would this picture continue to hold this light?
Okay,
Something must have happened.
Hur då?
That's for sure.
And something important must have been up there. If it is, I don't know, some sort of lighthouse or beacon. I don't know. It could be anything, or it could be a spellcaster up there doing nefarious deeds. But if this is a true picture of its representation when it was in its prime, my bet is that something important is there.
We should definitely go up and investigate and see what it is. And Aspa kind of, there's two pieces of paper that she needs to push together, and she tries to do it a little bit more, and kind of holding it together so it forms this perfect seamless line of somebody has slashed through, and kind of joins it together where it's just this little bit of a dark edge to the picture. And at that time, the picture changes. Instead of it being still, the snow falls actively. The lighthouse pulsates with light. Then the whole picture grows black, grows dark. As such does this whole room. Into your ears is a deafening roar. And then as you regain your sight and your vision, sitting in a rather elegant manner in the corner of the room is a gigantic ghost-like silver dragon saying, "Now we can converse in confidence, my honored guests." What do you do all? What do you all do?
Illyria's, if Asphoda doesn't want to do anything.
Well, Asphoda kind of takes a step back, that's for sure, and lifts her halberd, just in case.
Illyria is going with sort of like this big question mark at the end from the thing that Asphoda just read, just gonna go... Argynvost?
Sick.
That indeed was my name, once upon a time, half-elf.
It's an honor.
Once upon a time, I would have agreed with you. But now the state of my home, the state of my order, only fills me with shame. And such nice and cultured company is today only an honor to me, and not the other way around. I must offer my sincerest and most grateful of gratitude to help my soul regain some energy so I can appear in front of you in this manner.
Asphoda, you're up.
What am I supposed to say?
I don't know. I mean, maybe you have
You're
something.
usually the ones who ask the questions.
Would you
Okay.
mind telling us more about your order and this land?
And why you're stuck in a painting?
Is not my life and my purpose common knowledge?
We are
I'm afraid.
outside the mists.
And a lot of time has passed since this place was of any real strength.
Time. Yes. Time must have passed for my former home to have fallen to such a state. But the question is how long? My soul, my presence has been too diminished to know. Can you please enlighten me, my honored guests?
We might possess an answer, but we need to ask you a question. If it does not pain you, Sir Ardenvost, would you please tell us the name of the entity that is responsible for the ruin of your household? Whom did you fight last?
I forbade that creature, that parasite of blood, to investigate the cavern, the temple of which I spent most of my life protecting. He wouldn't bow to my will, and we declared war. Our armies clashed on the meadows outside of my fortress. But he proved to be too powerful for us, despite all my preparations.
Is that enemy named Stad Monzalvich?
Yes, the newly crowned emperor of the Tsarevich Empire, of which invaded my homeland. I was prepared to live in peace with him, as such my contract with Empress Shay. Therefore, I ordered my soldiers, of those who remain loyal to me, to not enter the war between the two empires. But he grew too curious of what I guarded.
What did you guard?
Here in the Balinok Mountains, there's a temple to an entity. An entity of great but corrupting power. When I visited myself, they were keen on entering into contracts with me to do trade, but I saw through their lies and their deceit. They only offered suffering in payment for further glory and power for them. I realized that lesser souls could not withstand the temptations it offered. And I made myself a home here to prevent anyone to communing with it. And so I did. For centuries. Then people came to me. Realized my strength, my skill. Wanted to learn. Wanted me to teach them of war, of the blade, of the battlefield. And in return, they stayed their whole lives or a few years in service of eternal watch with me. That is the order of the Silver Dragon.
Sir, I do not wish to cause you any more stress than what you've already been through. It's been hundreds of years since Stad rose to power here, and he is still in power. This party here attempts to end his reign for good.
And further to this, if I'm putting one and one together, the curse of your falling and the strength of Strahd has cursed the members of your household to follow him. We were brought here under the guise of parley with what was his name? Is it H? No.
I don't know if you know the name of the undead that let you here. I don't think you do.
I don't.
No.
Discount Strahd.
Discount
Yeah.
Strahd.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we met Discount Strahd.
Oh yeah, what the shit.
Undead. And our friend here, as you can see, a member of the Silver Dragons herself, was here to at least alleviate some of the curse that has befallen her and her order here, after realizing that there is a little more to it than just a simple delivery. And the little one here is correct. We are here to put an end to the reign of Strahd, but we are only 4 people. And everyone else is so eager to turn a blind eye. Let's not rock the boat, so to speak. And Strahd here has taken an interest in my friend and gestures to Illyria next to him. And her fate is sealed for his own desires to have her for eternity. And this is something I cannot let happen either. So, this is our predicament, and this is the history. If you are truly in alignment still with ending that of the blight that is Strahd von Zarovich, I would very much like to work with you somehow.
The ghost-like dragon stands up again and kind of comes closer to take a closer look at Illyria. When you mention all of these things, and then...
Illyria's just like, oh shit, here we go again.
Time to get possessed,
But there's nothing in his body language that changes. It only moves his head towards Nyx and then towards Asfara, and it says, "Despite my current predicament, I can sense that there's something fundamentally wrong with my knights. Something has corrupted them beyond the point of my reach. I have tried for all this time to reach out to them, but they cannot hear me. And so when I sensed something familiar, yet new, and his huge head turns towards Asfara, coming across my crossroad, I tried to make my presence known to you. And I'm glad you all had the wisdom to see this through, and gave me the necessary soul power to regenerate to this point where I can speak once more.
So what can we do? How do we bring you back? How do we put your house in order? How can we raise an army to fight back against Strahd?
I'm not entirely sure anymore. My memories in disarray, and it's a black abyss after my life ended when I entered a personal duel with Emperor Strahd. All I know is that my beacon that I myself enchanted to guide my knights and aid them in our task is somehow deactivated. And I do not understand why. No, why they cannot hear me. There's something blocking me.
So we should light your beacon? Would that help?
You have entered my personal study. As you can see, it's been ransacked and taken by the victors. But just beside here shall be the long table of my knights. There you will find my quartermaster, Sir Gwillem. I can sense that he's the least touched by whatever this curse may be. Perhaps he might be able to fill you in on the details that has escaped me after my death.
Is there some sort of communication or thing that you would say? I mean, far be it from me to question your ancient ghost of a dragon, but they might take a little more convincing unless we have some sort of way to prove that, hey, we're not here to kill you, but is there some sort of code word phrase to at least help us identify ourselves as akin with what your needs are?
I'm not sure if it will be foolproof, as I sense my knights have fallen far beyond the lofty and valorous ideals we set for ourselves when they swore themselves to me. But in our mausoleum, just underneath our gazes, written in Draconic, are the words, "Here we honor those who have departed to live in honor or perished in service. By the wisdom of Argynvost, Lord of Argynvost Holt, and founder of the Order of the Silver Dragon." Knowing these words might rekindle some memories of the promises we gave to each other.
Nix flicks out his book and scribbles hastily down what the dragon says. Word for word.
Yes, but you have done this before. You're good at this.
And we will do our best to inquire with this Sir Gwillem. And if it means we find an ally finally against the fight against Strahd, maybe things are taking a turn.
My existence is tenuous as it is. I shall try to give you any pebble of wisdom my mind is still able to conjure, but I fear my time is running short.
Can we stabilize you maybe with enough souls? Do you need more souls? I can provide some.
I can sense it now. This heavy veil of corruption closing in on the very slivers of my being. I am fighting it off, but I fear if you rekindle my power further, I will only turn into a monstrous reflection of what I once was.
Oh, I see.
I am sorry, little one, that I cannot help you further. But if you do lead my knights to their final rest and rekindle the beacon, it will not only aid you, but earn you my eternal gratitude, even in my death.
You are very kind, Arkansas.
We will try our best.
If you can hold on, I have a few questions. We are searching for things. We have been given a prophecy, and we are trying to fulfill it, of which that is the end of this reign of Strahd, but it is no easy feat. I was told in the dying moments of my mother figure that we must discover 3 vestiges.
Prophecies are powerful, especially uttered by those who are experts within their craft. Very well.
You mentioned the hooded one. A faceless demigod. Awaiting us at the end of a long winding road deep in the mountains. Does this mean anything to you?
In the grand hallway of the temple for which I have devoted my life and my death to protect, there are a statue, many meters towering over your heads, you born of the form of the human. It was clad in a veil of cloth. What your mother figure spoke of indeed sound similar to the temple.
If I might ask you a question, sir. That entity which you barred its worshippers from entering the temple, a dark entity, corrupting entity, do you know its name in any manner?
I purposefully closed the doors behind me with great haste after I realized this potential for corruption and suffering. I would not suffer to know its name.
I understand. But its corruption maybe is flowing right now to all of Barovia. And any information you can give us will help us fight it. It's just a feeling. I cannot explain, but it's the way you described it. It strikes a familiar tone, and I cannot say why.
All I know, child born of Fae, is that as soon as I entered those doors, I was accosted by an entity far greater than I that immediately tried to seduce me through my own weaknesses, my desires. It tempted me. It offered me exactly what I wanted. But I understood that the price would never be worth it. And I discovered that if such an entity would be able to offer as decadence to another entity of great means, that it could spell torment and misery for perhaps this whole archipelago.
Then we just have to stop it, I guess. Thank you, Lord Argus, Sir Argensford.
It nods his gigantic head. It's still a little bit weird because it's kind of there, but it's kind of not. And you kind of see the wall sometimes like warp through his picture. There's a few like dust particles in the air that turns into these snowflakes when they get close to his body, and then when they kind of fall out, they turn into dust again.
I assume the beacon is that light over there, and I point to the light in the painting on the tower.
Yes. It heralded my presence far and wide here on Domicon, and many pilgrimaged to find me.
I have one more question, if you can hold on.
What about Asphodel?
Asphodel is kind of like agreeing with everyone, like, all your questions, and is like making, like, if you ask a question, she's like asking for a clarifying statement. She's there. It's hard. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Somebody looked over to us, but I was like,
Yeah, she's been there the whole time with you guys and like echoing your questions with you.
These questions I have are related to us all, Illyria. This ancient being knows of the terminology in which this prophecy spoke of. It's Argenbost. I don't know if any of these answers would be possible for you, but was it ever known to you when you lived who the master of the marsh was?
Marsh. There's no marsh within this valley.
Okay.
Not at least when I was alive.
We're just... Another part of the prophecy was there was a kneeling woman, a rose, beauty. Just thought you might know.
what about that flooded town?
Which town?
Do you remember about that girl killed by her own father?
Yeah, indeed, it sparks a memory in you, Nyx. Irina and Ismark talked about that Ismark didn't want Irina to become another Marina of Beres, which is now a ruin.
Does Perez ring a bell?
Beres. Yes.
Yeah.
Your folk created a settlement southwest of my fortress, along the river. But it was no marshland. What has become of it?
It is ruined now, but surrounded by flooded lands, so...
He destroyed it. Or...
I must apologize for my weakness. I was unable to defeat that parasite.
Do you know of any weakness or weapon or something that we should be looking for that might give us the edge? Is it known?
Okay, glömma.
There's a sword that was mine, that I used to fight Emperor Strahd in my human form. My sword of sunlight. I enchanted it myself when war between us became inevitable. Despite it in my hand, his underhanded tactics made my backline fall, and with my distraction complete, he overpowered me. I do not know where my sword rests now. It should be in the possession of one of my knights. But it will singularly damage the form of a vampire.
Good to know.
Shit, bro.
Such a weapon that you wouldn't give to just any knight, right?
I do not know what became of it after my death. Indeed, we all died. But something awoke my knights. I resisted.
Then I think, Lily, we should find the sword.
If we can, yes.
It might be in the hands of my second in command, Commander Horngard,
Horngard.
or in his lover's hand, my quartermaster Sir Gwillem. But I'm not sure. I cannot see them as they cannot see me.
So we'll just have to stick with them then.
Okay, we will do our best to light your beacon. Maybe that will alleviate the curse in this domain. Maybe not for Barovia.
Want to ask about the third prophecy?
Well, I kind of think we know that, but I don't know.
That is very true.
Hmm.
Although it's mostly guesswork.
It is, but I can't see how Argonvolt here will know of where a crystal is in the house of a saint. It's kind of vague. Kind of think it's going to be in Kresk, or at least
Probably.
a lead.
A saint. During my time, there was a Saint Macovia, the most blessed servant of the Morning Lord, who created a chapel in the half-elf and other humanoid village up in the mountains west of Mount Gakis. Kresk, indeed, they named it.
Well, that confirms it.
Hold on. Blessed servant of the Morning Lord?
Yes. I asked many a time for the wisdom of Saint Macovia. And she pilgrimaged here as I pilgrimaged there. I even created a mural of her in my fortress. She had a most peculiar relationship with our mountain patron. But she joined the forces of Empress Shay during the war, and despite her begging of me to join her, I left her to the wolves, and she fell in that combat.
Was she of my kind?
She was not a child of the fiends.
Okay. And this Empress Shay? Who was she?
I did not agree with her dominion over this archipelago. But despite the other rulers I have come across in my time, as I flew across islands and archipelagos all across Kasai, she was the most benevolent. An elf of the garden, unusual as they are here. She ruled with less of an iron grip, as I've seen in many rulers before her. And it was surprisingly easy to make our peace and alliance with each other. She also called for my aid as the battle raged across this valley of all places. But my concern has always been the temple, fool as I was.
Thank you.
I might last before the first strand of dawn, but I must rest. I will let his form become invisible and small once more. Seek me in the hearth if you would need me. But when dawn comes, I seek oblivion before I let myself be corrupted by the unseen strands of power in this place now.
Then
And
we will seek to light your beacon before dawn.
the form becomes smaller and smaller, becomes that of the golden retriever size again, and then grows even smaller than that, and then becomes a little coal lizard that squeaks at you and walks over to the fire and jumps in there.
He took us for crushing him pretty well.
Good thing we didn't squish the second one.
Do you think he would give me back my torchlight?
I'm pretty sure that's what's powering him right now.
Yeah, I think we should move. This has been eye-opening to say the least.
Yeah, we should.
Oh, this is a lot.
We have to do so much tonight.
Shit.
We have a lot to think about, for sure.
And so we have Horn Guard, and then we have the Quartermaster, and one of them has the soul. And apparently Quartermaster is over there, and I point to that door. So we might as well have a chat with him right now. And maybe, just maybe, have it be on the deadlier side of things.
One thing is for sure here. We must conserve our strength. No frivolous use of magic. If we are to do this all in one night, we will not have time to rest.
Of course.
To think such a noble creature would be reduced to this. That's a tragedy right there. That's doing right.
And yet, we have met our first ally. At least, for now.
Alright.
Oh, hello. That's not something I ever thought of making. It's weird.
And with that sentiment, we're going to end tonight's episode of Curse About the Mystery.